Welcome to our daily hovers. I'm Meeka Nomicon, and today we'll be playing through the game A Cold Love Story. Now, I'm not too sure what this is about. All I do know is that it's definitely under the Yandere tag. Let's find out, shall we? I sent the text to my friend Max. A cold love story. Well, you know what? I'm invested already. The bus was already 20 minutes late. It was late November, and it was cold. So damn cold. My eyes burned against the outside air, and each intake of breath was like swallowing razor blades. Everything was dim, tinted a dull blue, and all was eerily still, seemingly frozen in time. Mercury in the thermometers had settled to the bottom, stagnant and crystalline. I could see my breath as it shimmered against the thin air, warping and climbing upwards in despair before vanishing. Even the trees, long dead, with crooked, empty limbs, appeared to be shaking against the cold. Frost and ice glinted sharply in the faded sunlight, clinging on and threatening to overtake the trees. The occasional glimmer of sunlight seemed so distant, its hazy blue ghost so utterly small and insignificant against the frozen vastness. The crunch of snow could be heard as I walked, a crisp, sharp sound cutting through what otherwise dead silence. I stopped for a minute. It seemed as if I was the only one in this world. A world of cold, of stillness, of nothingness. Neither the heat of a friend nor the joy of their company existed here. I was taking a note of all this with my eyes closed, so as to keep them from freezing, when I began to hear the crunching of snow. Huh? Sarah? Strange for her to be late. Also, where is her coat? Does she not realize it's snowing? I always met her at the bus stop, or at least had been for the past week or so. I was glad of it too. I used to hang out with my good friend Jenna, but she hadn't been showing up for the past week. And now it was just Sarah to keep me company. She was absolutely beautiful, sweet, and funny too. But for some reason, I never really saw her with any friends. I suppose this was because she had just moved here to Colorado. That, and because all the guys I knew were too afraid to even talk to her. I guess that's why she was stuck with me all the time. In fact, she actually seemed extremely lonely. Interesting. Oh, damn! I'm just staring at her. We could just... Well, do you know what? We've been staring for so long, if we just look away, we're gonna make it obvious. So why don't we just wave awkwardly and say hello? Hey. Hi, John. So, weather, right? So, good one, John. It's good to see you, John. Good to see you. Whoa, wait. What? Sarah, you're just wearing a t-shirt and shorts? Is she insane? Okay, wait. Didn't you say it's a 20-minute... Oh, 20 minutes! You see, I would offer my coat, which would be the gentlemanly thing to do. But the problem is I'm unnaturally cold always, so I don't particularly want to freeze myself. We'll just ask her why did she not grab a coat. John is worrying about me. I'm so happy. I must have simply forgotten. I thought... maybe I could use your coat? Sarah! Sarah! We're in a blizzard. Do you not understand that I also can get cold? Why did you not bring a coat? What? Of course, Sarah! No, John! John, you're supposed to keep your coat. We get cold too, John! You're crazy. Please take this.
You're too sweet. Thank you.
Sure. Happy to help, Sarah. But what has gotten into you? The bus is already really late. It might not be coming at all. You had plenty of time to get a coat.
No, I wanted to use your coat.
Well, why not send me a message or something so I could bring two at least? You're just trying to kill me, Sarah. I have no idea what to say to that. She's never acted like this before. Why is she being so weird all of a sudden? Sarah. Okay. Well, smile and nod is usually the non-confrontational route method. But you know what? No, we're gonna ask her why she's acting different. Hey-yo, Sarah. What's with all the, why are you acting different?
What? I'm not acting different. What is it you mean?
It's just, well, don't you think you're acting a bit strange? I mean, she did walk out into a snowstorm in short shorts and a t-shirt. I'd call that pretty strange.
Not really. Why? Why do you say that, John?
We could just forget about it, but no, I am very confrontational. Well, who doesn't bring a coat just so they can use someone else's? You're telling me you intentionally left your coat behind just so you could use mine? Why?
I didn't leave it at home. I just didn't want you to see it. You wouldn't want to see it either, John.
What? Why were you so close to me? I'm scared of you, Sarah.
Okay. It's embarrassing.
Okay.
Won't you be cold now?
Well, you know, Sarah, I wouldn't be if I was still wearing my coat. Unimpressed. Her hand forcefully grabbed mine. My mouth moved, but words were nowhere to be found. It's okay. I'll just freeze to death. No. She began taking off my coat in horror, meaning to give it back. Wait! I cried in panic. I was joking. I grabbed her arms to try and stop her. The instant my hand closed around her, her face flushed bright red. She stopped in her tracks. You okay there, Sarah? Oh no. Have we got ourselves a Yandere? Oh, no one was in the Yandere tag. This makes all so much sense now. So my friend. Guessing she's a bit deaded, huh? Sarah? I let her go instantly. Her sudden grin was so horrific and out of place, I felt my skin blister with ice. It crawled across her face like a disease, eating away at her flesh and peeling back cold lips. Where the hell had this come from? It was incredibly disturbing, so much so that I began to sweat despite the cold. I had to do something, anything, to get rid of this ghastly expression. Okay. We could just demand that she stops. Do you know what? I want to see what happens if we just demand she stop being creepy. Sarah, cut that out. What the hell has gone into you? Oh. Her reaction is to cry. Nope, I'm not falling for it, Sarah. You clearly killed my friend previously, and you're trying to kill me for the cold.
You're acting different. John, don't change. Don't be like the others. Don't change. Right? John, don't you agree this is best? For everyone? You remaining unchanged. You'll be peaceful, like everyone else. There is no school today. Can't you tell? The bus is not coming. It is a snow day.
The twisted grin continued to stretch her face further and further, eating away at her pale skin. The wind howled and crystalline needles bit at my exposed skin. Suddenly, she laughed, grabbing onto my waist.
You better stay close.
Otherwise, you'll catch a cold. My mind was in full retreat mode now as I began backing up. I tried to wiggle free of her grasp, saying, yeah, Okay, we could remain calm, but when we're faced with a creepy Yandere, we can't remain calm. Let's just try and talk our way out. When in doubt, just chat a lot. Hey, I think I'll just go home now, and maybe get some more coats. I'll see you tomorrow if the weather improves. Okay. Seemingly not hearing me, she snuggled in closer and closed her eyes. My hands were in the air, my body rigid and taut, as my heart convulsed with unease. I drew several shaky breaths and looked down at her. Her smile now appeared rather peaceful. Was this really all that bad? A lot of guys I knew would have done anything to be in this position. She just wanted to see me was all. Yeah, it was actually kinda sweet of her. Albeit a little drastic. That's when I saw the dark crimson stains on her legs. Is that blood?
Let's go to your house.
She suddenly squealed, ignoring my hover.
Don't you need your coats? I'll take them for you.
How about we... Okay, so if we push her back and demand an explanation, are we being too aggressive and are we gonna get murdered for it? We could be careful, but careful doesn't seem to help. It doesn't seem to register with her. And I don't particularly want to ignore her and agree, because if you notice about kidnappings, if you agree to go to a second location, you're already dead. And this counts as a kidnapping, I presume. She's rather psychotic, regardless of what John was just thinking. Okay, we're gonna push her back and demand an explanation. If we're gonna die through getting answers. Sarah, what the hell is that? Why the hell is there blood on you? As she stumbled back, her eyes flashed with horrid grey, hands twitching at her side. She said nothing. Her eyes stared straight forward, but convulsed with a gruesome inability to focus on anything, as if her eyelids were stretched open and stretched over a wire frame. She didn't so much as blink. Hello? Sarah, answer me! She remained utterly stagnant. Not a word crawled from her horrid lips. Nope, okay. I feel like we've committed. We could backtrack, but at this point, I think I'm fully committed to get myself murdered by the Yandere. So we're gonna ask again more forcefully. Sarah! We're not going anywhere until you explain yourself. You're acting like a psycho. I'm about to call the police. Why is there blood on you? She remained dead silent, skin pulsing with sickly grey. Stop. Stop changing. You accept me. Her hand twitched. Call the police. I slowly reached into my pocket, continuing to back up as I pulled out my phone. The blood, John. I can't even remember. So many people. A sudden sharp crack slashed my vision to black. The world exploded in warmth. Vile, boiling warmth. I coughed, finding that nothing but more warm liquid rushed from my lips. The rush of short-lived warmth rapidly decayed into cold. Ice cold. Everywhere. You are dead. I mean, let's face it, I knew that was gonna happen. I fully expected that. I just could not resist. Okay, it's fine. We'll get back there and I won't pressure her to answer me questions. We'll just go to the second location and probably get murdered there. What actually? I want to try a different one. So what if we said... Which one did we say the first time? Oh, well, we said this one the first time. So why don't we just say, didn't you have time? Oh, it was a 20-minute walk.
Jan is worrying about me. I'm so happy.
What?
I didn't have time. I thought maybe I could use your coat.
What? Of course, Sarah. You're crazy. Please take this.
You're too...
Okay, so it's back to now what we've got to do. So that doesn't really change anything. Okay, skip forward again. Okay, so what if we go the less aggressive route? So instead of pressuring her why she wanted to use someone else's, just go, yeah, you're right, I'm sorry, forget it. We'll be nice this time. Maybe then we won't get brutally murdered. Oh, I'm just tired, I guess. Sorry, forget about it.
Won't she be cold now?
Okay, so yeah, it's back to being the same. So those actions don't really matter then. Okay, so we're not going to demand she stops because that seems a bit aggressive. How about we ask if she's excited for school? Because of course everyone's excited for school, right? So, ready for school?
School?
She questioned, straight-faced, eyes returning to focus.
We don't have school today, silly. It's a snow day because of the incoming storm.
What? Seriously? God dang it! I didn't get an email or anything. That's when I saw it. A faint grin beginning to carve out her face again. Sheepish and hidden. Wait. Did you...
I wouldn't have been able to see you if you knew there was no school.
The twisted grin continued to stretch her face further and further, eating away her pale skin. Okay, so yes, it's the same. Well, how about this time we just remain calm? She snuggled in closer and closed her eyes as I tried to steady my breathing. My hands were in the air, my body rigid and taut as my heart convulsed with unease. I drew several shaky breaths and looked down at her. Her smile now appeared rather peaceful. Was it really all that bad? A lot of guys I knew would have done anything to be in this position. She just wanted to see me was all. Yeah, it was actually kinda sweet of her, albeit a little drastic. That's when I saw the dark crimson staining on her leg. Is that blood?
Let's go to your house.
She suddenly squealed, ignoring my horror.
Don't you need your coats? I'll take them for you.
Okay, so... what if we just carefully ask instead? Instead of shoving her back, just carefully question. Hey, Sarah? Please, just tell me if there's blood on you. You're really worrying me.
It's not.
Well, I feel like keep questioning her is just going to get us murdered again, so we'll believe her. Oh. Alright. I'm still a bit concerned, but I trust you. We're friends after all. And we can't stay out here forever. We'll freeze to death. It makes me nervous, but if you really want to come over... I began walking hesitantly. I felt sick, torn between concern and fear. But surely she was just having an off day, or messing with me in a cruel, drawn-out joke. There was an explanation here somewhere. Being suspicious of her was getting me nowhere. She clung to me tightly as she walked. I tried desperately not to shiver and send her on another episode. We were nearly to my driveway when my phone suddenly buzzed. It emanated a soft ding. Stealing a glance at the screen in my pocket, I could see that it was Max. He had finally texted me back. Okay, well, this is probably going to unlock her, but let's look at the message. I slowly wiggled my phone from my pocket with my left hand as my right was still in Sarah's vice grip. I was still walking as I brought the phone up when I suddenly jerked back, almost losing my balance on the slick ice. I turned around to see Sarah had stopped cold. Her hand gripped so tight around my own that I could almost hear the bones breaking. I let out a gasp of pain and tried to pull my hand free, but she wouldn't allow it.
Who's that?
The usual cheer was all but gone from her voice. Okay. So we can either say it's true if it's Max and read the message or leave it alone. Lie, it just ran out of battery. Okay, I don't really think lying is going to be a good idea in this situation. I feel like she's gonna know. But I also feel, even though she's a creepy yandere that has already killed me once, I don't need to read the message to her. So why don't I say, the truth is Max, and we'll just leave it there. It's Max. My friend.
What did he say? Open it.
Refused and tried to calm her. It's not your message, Sarah. Jesus, Sarah. Calm down. What does it matter?
I do not want you talking with others.
What?
I'm scared. Scared, John. If you spend too much time with others, you may change.
Sarah, what is all of this? All of a sudden? What do you mean change?
They are wicked, John. Every one of them. They cannot be trusted with themselves. Only I can see this, John. I am scared for you. They will try to corrupt you with such filthy things. Open the message. He cannot be trusted.
You know what? This is gonna get me murdered, but out of dignity, or whatever it is, I'm gonna refuse. No, Sarah! You're talking nonsense. You're insane. Are you hearing yourself? Oh, I just thought. She's still holding my hand. Let's hope it's not my right one, because I'm definitely going to lose that thing. Leave me alone. What the hell is wrong with you today? Not everyone is wicked. What the hell would you make you think that?
I was once wicked, John. Now, only I can prevent further corruption of your soul. I have learned that only in one state can others remain unchanged. Death, John. You will not be corrupted.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna get me murdered. Oh. Yeah, I feel the warmth again. Oh, I feel the warmth bleeding from my body. I'm definitely died. I'm ice cold. I'm ice cold everywhere, because I am deaded. Okay, I wonder if we can actually lie about the text then. Just say our phone died. Let's see. Okay, so what if we try and lie and just say it ran out of batteries? No one. My phone just died. Sorry.
Why do you lie to me, John?
Huh? What?
That is your text tone. I know the sound your phone makes when it dies. And that's not it. You are lying to me.
Huh? How do you...
I also have your mother's phone, John. I took it from her. You two share the same phone and the same message tones. You think I wouldn't know? I am too late for you.
Wow! Dying is an instant death? Okay, I think... there's only possible two solutions then. Either we tell her the truth and we read her the message, or we just don't look at the phone at all. Which one do we want to try first? Well, I'm curious what the message says. I'm saying let's just read her the message. Okay, so we'll say the truth, it's Max, and we'll read the message. It's Max, my friend. I drew a breath, still cringing in pain as I opened the message from him. It was just telling me about... Yeah, of course, I'm at school. Where the hell are you? My blood froze. I stared at the screen as my chest tightened.
Telling you what?
I turned to look at her, my hands beginning to shake, having nothing to do with the cold. I'm sure my face showed my horror and confusion, but if she saw, she didn't let on. I could feel her chilling gaze stabbing at my numb skin. Telling you what, John? Okay, so actually this time I think lying is the way we save our lives. If we say the truth, that's confronting her about her lying to us, right? Which is probably gonna get us killed. So why don't we try and lie? Just about how much he likes snow. Wow, we are an atrocious liar. Out of everything we could have possibly said, Max was saying to us, we're saying he's talking about how much he likes the snow. Wow, don't become a spy, John, whatever you do. Slowly, her cute face reappeared and her grip lightened as she smiled at me. We began walking again. Oh, I knew lies would save my life eventually, even if they were really atrocious ones.
What do you think of him?
There was still a hint of malice in her quiet voice. What?
Max. Is he a good friend of yours?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've known him for a while is all. Her hands slowly bored into tight fists, nearly crushing my own hand as she muttered something under her breath. Okay, well at least I've made it nearly home, where I could grab a knife. That's when she turned into my driveway and started walking down, leading me. How did she know where to turn? How did she know this was my driveway? I really... Okay, I know ignoring it will save our life, but I really want to confront him again. I'm gonna do it. I yanked my hand from hers with all my might. Sarah, where is the bus? She looked devastated, staring at her empty hand, not saying a word. Her irises shook slightly, her face becoming hollow, whatever colour she had disintegrating into a grey slag. Where the hell is the bus, Sarah? Why didn't it ever come?
No. School. Today.
She muttered to herself, eyes again distant and dim as she fumbled around and tried to reach my hands blindly. Yes, we do, Sarah. We do have school. The bus should have been at the stop, but it never came.
I wanted just the two of us.
And why do you have your backpack if you weren't planning on going to school? How do you know where I live? She chose to ignore all of this and instead found my hands again, gripping them tightly and smiling crookedly. in the most unnatural way. She didn't seem to be feeling emotions, and yet carved them into her face all the same. It was as if she was trying to imitate expressions she had seen others express. I took a few long breaths and tried to calm myself down.
I'm cold. We should go inside.
My lungs were shaky and weak, my breaths doing very little as I talked to myself. It must have been a misunderstanding. I'm not even sure if I believed that myself, but it was better than thinking of alternatives. People didn't just snap like this. There was some more going on here, and pushing Sarah away wasn't going to get me any closer to an answer. And besides, I actually was going to freeze to death out here. Okay, so I'm presuming if we want to be on her good side, we're gonna have to apologize to her. But I'm still sketched out that she's clearly stalking me, so we're gonna say nothing and go inside. As we began walking down the driveway to my house, I looked at her and took a heavy breath, calming my nerves. I only hoped that her strange behavior had subsided for good. We trudged through the softly accumulating snow. I had been too lazy to shovel it with my parents having left for Hawaii a week ago. Ironically, as much as it annoyed me to imagine them on a beach while I was stuck here, I was insanely glad that neither of them would be home for a few days, so I wouldn't have to explain Sarah to them. We reached the door and I fumbled for my key. I finally grasped it, unlocked the door, and jumped inside before too much warm air escaped into the bitter cold. I immediately started up a fire, not really realizing how cold I had been until that moment. I looked over at Sarah, taking off the jackets and folded them neatly before placing them down gingerly by the entrance. Her movements were strained, her spindly limbs tired and weak. She appeared to have a normal mental state now, but as she finished up and her eyes glanced at me, I couldn't help but be a little tense. "Hey, Sarah?" My heart began to pound, distrust and fear suddenly reclaiming me. What if? Did she know where my room was? That might be a way to check on whether or not I'm overreacting. Okay, let's check this. Ask if she can grab a hoodie from your room. Could you maybe go to my room and grab me a hoodie?
Anything for you, John?
She cried with a big smile, turning to go. She took several steps further into the house, her pale form walking deliberately at first, but her pace gradually devolved into a strained, staggering motion before she eventually came to a complete halt. Still facing away from me, her icy voice quietly seeped out.
"But I don't know where your room is."
I felt a huge wave of relief. See, you may feel relief, but I don't. Because you know what I think? I think she knows where our room is. She was deliberately walking there, realized, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't admit to knowing this, and now she's stopped to claim she has no idea. I'm telling you, she's lying. Thank God. I felt bad for ever doubting her, for giving her such a dumb test. Sorry, it's right up the step. I suddenly stopped myself. You know what? I'll just get it myself. I need to stop being so lazy anyway. What was wrong with me? I apparently still felt like I couldn't trust her, but I just couldn't stop myself. I didn't believe her. I wanted to know if there was really no school. I wanted to know why she'd been acting so strange. The only thing holding me back was the fear of such a question bringing back that other smile, that deranged face. All right then, I'll be right back, then. I quickly ran up the stairs to my room. I grabbed my doorknob, only to recoil in shock. It was freezing. I could feel a draft of frozen air seeping out from under my door. I gingerly grabbed the handle with my fingertips and slowly opened it, letting loose a blast of frigid air. It felt like a window had been left open. Now that I thought about it, I remembered my room being freezing that morning as well, and really quite drafty for the past week. We're not going to ignore the fact our bedroom is freezing. This is how you get hypothermia. Let's check the windows. Nothing. All the windows were closed tight. I would probably just have to sleep downstairs by the fire until I figured out the problem. I quickly grabbed my hoodie and closed the door to my room. I walked back downstairs. Sarah was gone. Hey? Sarah? Where the hell had she gone? Hello? A sudden clattering sound resounded from the kitchen. My heart spasmed as a sudden noise, my hand rushing to clutch at my chest. What? Oh, that's actually curious. Why would you give me the option to check my room again? You know, considering that's an option, I feel like we have to. Because I know the noise was from the kitchen. Was this a diversion? I ran back to my room. There was no one inside. Huh. Why would you give us the option then? Is it just because that's like the only rooms we know in the house? Interesting. Okay, we'll go to the kitchen. I cautiously walked toward the kitchen, my heart pounding despite my attempts to control it. There was no one inside. My eyes narrowed. Was that a pan on the floor? That must have been what caused the sound. I think we should call for Sarah. Hey, Sarah? Sarah? Hello? Where are you? No response. Well, I guess we're going back to the living room. I hesitantly peered back into the living room, walking slowly. Where the hell was she? That's when I suddenly heard someone descending the stairs. I whirled around to see Sarah bounding down them, slinging her backpack over her shoulder. It seemed to be empty now. What the hell? Where had she even come from? What has she done? Yeah, I don't think ignoring it and offering her chocolate is really the brightest thing we have. Maybe the safest. Okay, ask what she was doing. Sarah? What the heck were you just doing up there? It's a surprise, John. Her smile flashed across her face once again, appearing wrong. Okay, I think we should go check. It's a surprise, right? So let me go be surprised. I brushed past her as I walked up the stairs, ignoring her cries of protest. I reached my room, hesitantly, slightly as my hand pressed against the coal knob. Stop that! You'll ruin it! I slowly turned the handle. Oh! Oh, that got me murdered, but you said it was a surprise! A surprise for me, right? Why was I not allowed to go in and see the surprise, Sarah? Is the surprise gonna be my friend's head or something? I wouldn't be surprised. I'm actually curious. If we check the kitchen first, or stay... Oh wait, once we stay still, just stay here. Because to get up to our room, she's gonna have to walk past us from the kitchen, right? So if we stay still, I just planted my feet, eyes nervously scanning the house. Nothing moved. Okay, go to the kitchen. I cautiously walked to the kitchen, my heart pounding despite my attempts to control it. There was no one inside. My eyes narrowed. Was that a pan on the floor? This must be what caused the sound. Okay, so I don't actually have a choice to go to my bedroom afterwards. Okay, so I can ask her what's in her backpack, but then again, I'm guessing at this point there's nothing in her backpack because whatever it is in my room. I'm thinking asking her to leave is also going to get me murdered, right? You know what? We'll just offer her the hot chocolate. Maybe we can spike it. Hey, Sarah. Welcome back.
Hey, John.
She smiled cutely. So if you're staying for a bit, how about some hot chocolate? Or something else? It's whatever.
Sure. So long as it's okay with you. Do you like hot chocolate, John?
Sure. Way more than coffee. John, I'm disowning you. Go get killed by your Yandere, John. We stand coffee in this good household.
Then I like it too. I'll make some for you.
You know what? Okay, go on. You can make it. Alright. Thanks, Sarah.
Sure. Anything for you, John.
Yay. Can I sneak up to my bedroom when she goes to the kitchen then? No, we both walked in, never mind. We walked to the kitchen, Sarah taking the lead. Before long, she had made some hot chocolate. Using water and my little packets of mix. Nothing fancy. First you say you don't like coffee, and now you're saying you make the watered hot chocolate instead of the milk. I have nothing but judgment for you, John. She held her own cup down at the side, eyes trained on me.
How is it, John?
My chest tightened. What was this feeling? Oh, it's, I think we should pretend to drink. I know I said spike the coffee for her, but considering the fact we didn't make it, and she's staring at me so intently, I'm gonna assume she spiked it. So let's just pretend to drink. I slowly lifted the cup, feeling the warm liquid press against my pursed lips. Yeah, great.
I'm glad.
Her eyes clouded for a brief second before she suddenly snapped upright again. Suddenly, from within her backpack, her phone rang. I couldn't help but facepalm as I heard the ringtone. Bruno Mars? You're just as bad as my mom. I can't believe you have the same ringtone. She practically squealed in embarrassment as she fished around in her backpack, quickly tearing out the battery. She sheepishly put the battery in her pocket and looked down at her feet. Oh yeah, it's the mum's phone, right? She dashed out of my house before I could respond. Her form disappeared into the frozen wasteland, slamming the door behind her. I sat stunned for a good minute. Where the hell did that come from? She hadn't even taken a coat with her. Imagining her in just a t-shirt in that brutal cold made me want to run after her. But I knew she was long gone by that point. It was now well past 12. The school would have called by now about my absence if it had been a school day. I let myself relax a little more. But it wasn't quite enough. This entire day was just a bit too much to handle. Maybe I was just worrying too much. I think we should send Max another text. I pulled out my phone, quickly sending Max another text. Oh wait, what if Sarah's gone after Max and he's gonna have his phone now? Or I might just got myself killed. That would have to do for now. Now all I could do was wait. Do we really want to do homework? We've had a hard day, let's just watch some good TV. I sat on the couch, mindlessly flicking through channels. There was nothing good on. My phone suddenly buzzed. Could that be Max? Pulling out my phone, I realized that it just run out of batteries. Oh, this had gone far enough. Even if there was school today, Max would have been home by now. For him to keep this joke up so long. Okay, is it before we call him? How about we use our landline to check any messages? Nothing. I punched in his number and brought the phone to my ear. Dial tone. I tried again. Dial tone. Frustrated, I looked at the monitor. No service, it read. What? It was a landline. How is that even possible? Must have been something to do with the storm. I suddenly realized that I should have been checking the news. They would hopefully have information about the possibility of school tomorrow. At the rate this storm was going, it wasn't likely. Okay, I guess we're going to check the news. I flipped the channel. Wait, Sarah murdered an entire bus full of people? I mean, I guess that makes sense, but I was just expecting her to have killed our friend. Oh, damn. My heart practically stopped. I only heard the tail end. Not releasing images or further details regarding the bus incident. Then the camera switched and they began talking about highway conditions. I felt an absolutely horrible sickness gripping me. It couldn't be. Could it? Surely that little dialogue I had heard couldn't have been about. That would be ridiculous. I wasn't even sure what I heard. I was definitely overreacting. After all. Okay, wait. Someone would have called me, what about the massacre? Yeah, okay, that one. Someone would have called me. Not if the police aren't releasing details about where and when it took place. Okay, yeah, granted, if they didn't know it was your bus, but I'm pretty sure anyone hears about any sort of bus within that district, they're gonna call anyone they know who takes the bus, just in case it was them. So, I disagree with that. I think we still would have been contacted. Again, we know school did report it's absent, we just also know that Thingy has her phone. But we also know that we in this timeline wouldn't know this, so... Sure, we can go with this one. That's because my house phone isn't getting service. And Max was just playing a joke. Then why didn't he ever text me back? Nothing I said to myself made me feel any better. I tried in vain to calm myself down, but quickly realized I had to know for sure. The house shook with gusts of winds, tremors being sent down every dark hallway. I stood up from my couch slowly, glancing at the snow beginning to plaster to the windows. Although grey and dull, the flakes seemed to glow against the oppressive darkness as nighttime fell. I secured every layer I could find, grabbing my flashlight and taking several deep breaths. The frigid night air seemed to ripple with heat distortion as the door swung open. I locked the door behind me and fumbled the keys into my pocket with shaking hands. I began walking the route the bus would have taken, my pace slow, the sickness growing worse with every crunch of snow under my feet. The dim light from my house was becoming more and more distant, disappearing altogether as I turned a corner. It was now just me and the flurry of snow. The skeletal trees surrounding me groaned against the wind. Their twisted black shapes were silhouetted against the deep blue hue of the night. I hadn't seen another house for some time now. The families in my neighborhood were exceedingly spread apart, and the empty stretches of road seemed to snake on forever at points. More often than not, the snowplows didn't even find the time to drive as deep into the community as I was going. I slowly came to a stop, hesitation shaking my heart. We must keep going. It's too late to turn back. This was crazy. I was going to die out here. I was overreacting about the bus. I better just turn around. I couldn't do this. This was all just too much. Wait, didn't I say go forward? Wait. Oh, I said turn back. Nope, I meant to keep going forward. We're gonna keep going forward. I couldn't stop here. I had come this far. It was snowing quite heavily, but I was still certain I would be able to faintly see the tracks of the bus if it had driven anywhere. Despite this, I hadn't seen its tracks in over a mile. Ordinary cars rarely ever drove up the way I was walking. And yet, I noticed that the roadway was layered with the tracks of smaller vehicles. They looked fresh. That's when I saw something up ahead, barely visible in the haze. Lights, flashing red and blue, just around the next bend. Whatever sanity I had left was quickly draining. Keep going! I approached the lights and peeked around the corner. There, surrounded by ambulances and police cars, a mangled mess of metal and shattered glass, sat the bus I had been taking for nearly 4 years. The windows were caked with blood, which was still a dark crimson red, perfectly preserved in the cold. The once hot, steaming liquid had frozen solid, and the splintered glass encircling small, bullet-sized holes. The ambulances were stuffed with body bags, as the surrounding streets were scattered with a few severed limbs. I swore I could see steam softly rising from the dead white appendages, as they were ever so slowly covered in drifting snow. There were several police officers conversing amongst themselves. Surely, I couldn't be caught here. I looked downright suspicious. Was it worth listening closer? Why would we look a bit suspicious? Listen to the officers. I snuck slightly closer, carefully measuring my steps. I could only make out a few words and jumbled phrases. Hacksaw. Removed post-mortem. A few pieces. Missing. One of them suddenly stood upright, gaze darting around the surrounding area. I staggered back, blind terror forcing me into a retreat. Oh no. What's the bet on those missing body pieces are currently in my bedroom, huh? Thanks, Sarah. I began sprinting back to my house, trying to keep my stomach down as my heart lurched rapidly. I reached my front door and frantically fumbled for the key with my numb fingers, looking behind me into the inky darkness. I finally got the key in the lock and turned it. But suddenly, a knock on glass, coming from above me. I looked up slowly, heart pounding. There, in the window above me, the window to my room. I couldn't see much of anything. The light was off, which was a problem, because I knew I had left it on. Oh, hi, Sarah! Nam! Was that Sarah? The realization made me stumble back, fear negating my ability to breathe for a second. Her face had been pressed up against the glass, but it was so wrong, horrific, that horrible. gut-wrenching smile on her face. How the hell did she even get in? I swallowed hard. Sirens droned behind me in the distance. It was time to make a choice. I could run back to the police, save myself, put this entire thing behind me. Never learn anything about what happened here on this cold day. Or I could go inside. Okay, so there's our two options. Clearly we're going to do both of them. But I feel like if we run back to the police, that's going to be the shorter pathway. So we'll do that one first, and then we'll come back to go inside. So let's go see if the police can save us. Yeah, no. I can't do that. If I wanted to be safe, I would have run away a long time ago. Oh, okay. Choice is not a choice. It was time to finish this. No way am I going to wuss out like I've done my whole life. It's time to go inside. I took a deep breath. Well, I mean, if you weren't really going to give me an option, why give me an option? I just now feel cheated. Sarah? Hello? What are you doing in here? My voice trailed off. A wind gust shrieked outside. Dim moonlight dancing across the empty rooms of the house. If Sarah was still inside, she wasn't saying anything. Wait, what the hell is that noise? It sounded as if something was falling down the stairs. Something heavy. I could only see the base of the stairs, so unless it fell all the way down. Oh, is that going to be Max? Oh, he decapitated. How did you carry his body all the way back here?
You didn't give me time to prepare this one like the others, which is a shame. After all, you said he was your friend.
The ghoulish head dripped softly in the darkness. It was so pale and mangled that I didn't immediately recognize it as Max's. A horrific expression was forever imprinted on his face as his eyes stared straight ahead, wide and unblinking.
There. What are you doing on the ground for? Are you sick? Catch a cold? Sarah will make it all better. Isn't that right, John? Right, John? You need to make you better. Make you better.
Well, I don't really have many options here.
Watch your feet on the steps. Don't let go of my hand. Shh. It's okay. It's cold in here, you know. Maybe if you just held me?
My friends.
Shh. John's friends are all here. Mrs. Bus Driver Lady is over there in the corner. You don't need anyone but me. Others will try to change you, corrupt you. But I didn't want you getting lonely either. Not like me. So, I kept your friends here. Most of Jenna is in your closet. I cut a hole in your roof above the closet so she could stay there longer. Room temperature is not good for friends. It must be cold. Like outside. I've let her be with you all week. But there is only me to love now. Don't you understand how I am protecting you? I love you, John. Much more than your parents. Your parents wanted to leave you, but I made them stay with you. Make them stay under your bed. Don't you understand?
Wow, you've literally killed everyone. I began thrashing around, trying to scream, but only letting out strangled squeaks. She giggled and interlaced her fingers with mine, pinning my arms down and bringing her face inches away, grinning from ear to ear. Her head was tilted to one side, her dull grey eyes swirling with darkness.
Only me to love now. John loves me now.
Hey, Sarah, maybe you should go meet John Doe. I feel like you guys would get on swimmingly, and John would love you forever. No.
You're so funny. John loves me, and I love John. So much. And if his face looks at me with nothing but disdain, I can change that. I will change that. If he has no face, I can imagine whatever expression I want. You will smile. You will love me.
Oh, I dead again. Wait, is that just the ending? Is there no good... Oh, bad end! So there's gotta be a good ending, right? Okay, so that's the bad end. It is a nice song. Good job. Okay, so I'm assuming then the good ending is if we're just nothing but absolutely nice to her. Okay, so I'm gonna jump us through the choices and basically pick every most positive answer, I guess. Okay, so looking away would probably upset her, so yeah, we're gonna stick with waving awkwardly. How about this time we just offer our coat instead of judging her? You're crazy! Please take this!
You're too sweet. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so this is the same again. We're just gonna... Oh, this time we didn't know she wanted to wear our coat, right? So we're just gonna smile and nod.
Ah, won't you be cold now?
Okay, so yeah, this is the same. Okay, so again, we're going the nice answers. So, ask if she's excited for school. We want to know her opinion. Okay, which out of these is going to be the nice one? Honestly, they both seem pretty tame. How about we just remain calm? How about this time, we're not even going to ask her. We're not going to judge her at all. We're just going to ignore the substance and agree. Okay, how about... Oh, okay, how about we ignore the message, then we'll never know school was actually on. So then we'll never be getting her upset with us? Possibly? I just let the phone in my pocket, feeling Sarah's hand softly grip mine. It wasn't 3 steps later that I was suddenly jerked back, almost losing my balance in the slick ice. I turned around to see that Sarah had stopped cold. Her hands gripped so tightly around my own that I could almost hear the bones breaking. I let out a gasp of pain and tried to pull my hand free, but she wouldn't allow it.
Who was that?
The usual cheer was all but gone from her voice.
You think I wouldn't notice? Who was that?
Well, it wouldn't be a lie because we don't know. We haven't checked our phone. I have no idea, Sarah. Why does it matter? You're kind of acting insane. Are you hearing yourself? I have no idea who it was, but you shouldn't care anyway. Oh, I've made a mistake. I've definitely made a mistake. This was not the good option to go with. What the hell is wrong with you today?
I care, because conversing with others will corrupt you. Only I can understand what is happening to you. only I can prevent further corruption of your soul. Save you. Save everyone. I have learned that only in one state can others remain unchanged. Death, John. You will not be corrupted. Are you talking to others? Are you trying to leave me?
Okay, well that one's done if you're actually gonna get his murders. I don't think running is gonna be an option, so we'll just go no, of course not. No. I would never.
Lies. Since when do you lie so much? John?
Oh, I've made bad choices. I don't think we can pick any that's not gonna get us killed. So clearly I should have just never gone this route. You know what? We're gonna die once more, then I'll get us back to where I'm supposed to be. So yes, you're being a psycho. Yes! Of course, get away from me! You're insane!
I am finally sane. It is you who must regain your sanity.
Yeah, I saw that coming. Okay, so we'll look at the message. Okay, I think the only safe option for us is it's Max and then read the message. See, I just think confronting her with what Max says is going to get not only us killed, but him killed. Even though I don't think there's a way not to get him killed. Just keep her calm. We're just gonna ignore it this time as well. Wait. Yeah, so we're gonna ignore the fact she knows it's our house. Okay, so we're trying to stay on her good side, right? So what if we apologise for acting suspicious of her? Hey, gosh, Sarah? I'm sorry. This whole day has been a bit weird, I guess. I keep thinking strange thoughts, like I'm a paranoid or something. I don't even understand it, but you don't deserve to be treated that way. I know you've been having troubles fitting in at school. The last thing you need is me acting strange. I'm sorry. Listen, Sarah, thanks for being with me today. I would certainly be cold with or without you, but at least this way it's not boring. I like hanging out with you. So, thanks, and I'm sorry. My heart warmed as I saw her face shift ever so slightly. As if waking from a dream, her eyes glanced around, taking in her surroundings for the first time. Her sunken, lifeless features slowly ebbed away as, for the first time today, a believable smile flickered into view. One that didn't appear forced or fueled by delusions.
No problem, John. Thank you.
Oh, what is backstory? Hey, Sarah.
Yeah?
Could you maybe tell me a little about yourself?
What?
You don't have to, but I just want to maybe know a little more about you. I guess. Come on, John, we can at least ask this question when we're inside. You know, not in the snowstorm still.
Okay, John. I don't like talking about it, but I can give you some drawings. I'm not very good. Promise me you won't look at them until later?
I promise. This is the story of two people, both successful in work and in life. They settled down and planned to have a child. Unfortunately, however, fate had other plans. One day, the man returns home to find the police suspect a kidnapping. The man is now alone. His wife is never found. The culprit is never identified. For nearly a year. Then suddenly one day, a police officer brings news. His wife had been found clinging to life, and the culprit responsible is the man's longtime co-worker, a friend, The wife is alive, but not the same as she once was. Her mind is broken beyond repair. And she is not alone. A child has been born in the depths of all that cellar. A daughter with the hideous blue eyes and jet black hair. It's okay, says the man. I love my family. Nothing has changed. But they have changed. The daughter watches them change. The wife no longer understands love, and the man admits that he cannot. And the family tears itself apart. Then, one day, the man gets a tip at his co-worker's location. The culprit who fled the scene all those years ago. The man does not call the police. The man does not care that his daughter's in the car with him. The man shoots the co-worker 17 times in the chest. The man is never convicted of the murder. Things only get worse. The daughter is kept from school. The murder only further divides the family. Though blame begins to focus on her, the state eventually forces the daughter into school, but she cannot function away from home. She cannot talk with other children because she doesn't know how. And the adults that try to console her only scare her to tears. End of part 1. You know? That was a little pacey. I missed some of that. I tried my best though. Okay, Sarah, I'll put these in my backpack for now. I'll look at them later.
Thank you, John.
As we began walking down the driveway to my house, I looked at her and took a heavy breath, calming my nerves. I only hoped her strange behavior had subsided for good. We trudged through the softly accumulating snow. I had been too lazy to... Okay, so this is all the same again. Okay. How about we don't try and test it this time? We just say, never mind. Never mind, I was just going to go get a jacket from my room real quick. Do you want anything?
I'm okay, John. Thank you.
Alright then. I'll be right back then. I quickly ran up the stairs to my room. We can just ignore it. I mean, we know the windows are closed because we know what it is now. I better just grab my coat and get back to Sarah quickly. I would probably just have to sleep downstairs until the fire, until I figured out the problem. Okay, so check the kitchen. Go back to the living room. I feel like the safest one is just to ignore it and ask for a hot chocolate again. Because that seems the nice option, right? Would insisting we do it maybe be the better one? Okay, we'll say we'll do it. Don't worry about it. I can make it for...
I'll make it. Okay, John?
I feel like I actually... You know what, we're gonna go back. We'll just say, alright, thanks, because clearly she insisted. Alright. Thanks, Sarah.
Sure. Anything for John.
Yay? Wonder what would happen if I actually drank some. Let's try. I slowly lifted the cup, taking a small sip. Hey, it tastes great. Maybe, hot chocolatey. Her eyes again cleared slightly, a sort of calming sanity washing over her. Ooh, more backstory. Hey, Sarah?
Yeah, John?
Listen, I may have looked at those pictures you gave me. No, listen, it's okay. I had no idea. I'm so sorry, Sarah. Listen, if it means anything, I promise. I'll never let something like that happen to you again. No one deserves any of that. I really appreciate you showing me all of that. But there's more, isn't there?
This time, you really can't look until later, okay?
Alright. Unable to communicate in school, the daughter begins to accept that her home is where she belongs, that the way she is treated is what she deserves. This continues until the daughter enters high school, and something horrific happens. One day after school, a child runs into the road. With the father too intoxicated to brake in time, the child is killed on impact. Having become a second nature to the family, the daughter is blamed, and hiding the body becomes her burden. The daughter does not fuss. She knows it is her fault. But her parents become convinced she will turn on them to get them arrested for things which have always been her own fault. Time passes until the daughter begins to fall ill. A horrible thought begins to plague her mind. Perhaps this is not her fault. She shakes the thought away. But with every thought of the innocent child's corpse, it returns hungrier than ever. The thought takes over her mind. She is unable to break free. And soon, it will not be denied. The thought poisons her parents, and the daughter bends to it will. It is only after this the daughter sees what she has done. The corpse's eyes still judge her, ghastly mouths unhinged in horrible screams. And so she removes the faces. Now she can imagine whatever expression she wants to. They could be smiling at her, if she wanted them to be. And so they smiled at her, and she smiled back. The family had finally found peace. End of part 2. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, Sam is a psycho and a bit of a yandere and a little bit insane. But the parents kind of deserved it, let's face it. Alright, I won't look until later. Thank you so much for being so open.
No. Thank you.
She dashed out of my house before I could respond. Her form disappeared into the frozen wasteland, slamming the door behind her. I sat stunned for a good minute. Where the hell did that come from? She hadn't even taken a coat with her. Okay, so this is the same again. Why don't... Okay, so how about we don't text Max? Because I feel like, since we know she's there killing him, that might have been what upset her. What if we just did our chemistry homework? I sat at my living room desk for a few hours, racking my brain over the questions. Questions that probably would have been simple if I had actually paid attention. The truth was, ever since Sarah had moved in, I hadn't really felt like myself. Her constant presence made focusing difficult during school, and I almost felt like I needed to keep watch over her. She had been acting strange all of today, with the Sarah I knew. What I could only assume was the real Sarah was just a girl who had trouble talking with other people. A girl who had always had a bewildered look about her, as if the world was shifting under her feet. A girl who hadn't even been able to look me in the eyes for several days after we first met. She never talked about herself. She didn't seem to want to. She would always listen though. And when she did, her eyes always seemed less piercing, less haunted. And I was certain she could sit silently for hours while I spoke. I always knew something was off about her, about the way she listened so devoutly. God, what do I do? Maybe I'm just over-analyzing things as per usual. I'm not making any progress on this stupid worksheet. Maybe later. Okay, we'll just watch TV then. What? Who could have been texting me? I hadn't texted Max. Pulling out my phone, I realized that it had just run out of batteries. Okay. So yeah, we'll just call his house directly then. Groaning, I stood up and picked up my house phone. I punched in his number and brought the phone to my ear. Okay, so again, I've got no answer, so nothing's changed. Now we'll just watch TV. Yes, okay, so it's a massacre. I say we turn back. Maybe that's going to be the solution to getting the good ending, right? If we just don't go look at the wreck. This was crazy. I was going to die out here. I was overreacting about the bus. I better just turn around. I couldn't do this. This was all just too much. I hurriedly turned around, scrambling back toward my house. I reached the front. Wait, is this going to be the same? I reached the front door and frantically fumbled for the key with my numb fingers, looking behind me into the inky darkness. I finally got the key in the lock and turned it. Okay, so this is the exact same as earlier. She got inside, quick! Okay, go inside. I took a deep breath. Sarah? Okay. Yep, and there's Max coming down. Ooh, final backstory! We unlocked it by being nice to her. I think I do. What? I understand. The daughter was happy with her family, but when her absence from school caught notice, she was forced to return. It was then that she found another child waiting in the snow. The child asked for her name, but she cannot speak. This child will not bend to her imagination. His face is not what she wants. The questions she asked are dictated by her. It has been so long since she has seen another living person. The child doesn't care, however. He does not see her as a person. The daughter has no backpack, so the daughter does not know what to do. So the child shows her. The daughter cannot speak to others, so the child talks to her. That's when the daughter makes a mistake. She begins to believe the child accepts the normal, lets herself become, and that's when the child begins to change. Just like the daughter's parents. It's too fast! He will hate her. Being with her others will corrupt him. The daughter will protect him. The daughter loves him. And if he does not love her back, she will pretend he does. Wow, this is really a love or die situation, huh? I mean, I can't have already figured that out by the times you've murdered me already. End of part 3. I missed most of that. That really needs to be slowed down. I struggle.
You? How did you? I don't. You do understand. I love you. But after everything I've done, what do you think of me? I will accept it. Whatever you say. No matter what.
Oh, I wonder if we can do both then. So if we do this one, can I save it real quick? Okay. So how about we turn it in first? Sarah, you are broken. You're a murderer, and you're clearly delusive beyond repair. I think you've been pushed too far, and I simply can't help you. I don't think anyone can. I'm going to have to turn you in. It's for your own good.
If you think so.
Wait, did she actually go along with it? Without murdering me?
Then I accept.
What? She actually went along with it? I was expecting another death one. I doubt this is going to be the good ending though, right? I bet the good ending is going to be us ending up with her. Yeah, it's a bad ending. Even though we technically didn't die. Okay, we'll go get the good ending. I won't leave you. Sarah, you are broken. You are a murderer, and those lives you took can never be replaced. You need to first understand this. Your delusions have cost me everything. But I don't think you're beyond repair. And for anyone to not try to help you past this. Sarah, I'll never look at you the same again. But I'm not going to leave you alone this time. What you've done is wrong. The way you think makes me fear your life, as well as the lives of others. Which is why I can't let you out of my sight ever again. Wait, are we about to Yandere the Yandere? Wow, we're obsessed as well. From now on, we're in this together. I won't let you hurt another person, and I won't let anyone ever hurt you. What do I think of you? I suppose I'll come to find out. I don't think you know what love is. I think your delusions have warped that term. For me to say I love you back, it would be wrong. But I will say this, I certainly hope we can come to love each other. You're beautiful, and while your heart may be tainted by a past you can't control, I stand by my earlier statement. You are not beyond help, not beyond repair. You are not lost. I will not lose you, no matter what.
I would like that. Very much.
So is this my good end? I got the good end! I mean, it's a little bit questionable that technically the good end is us helping her get away with murder, but okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that playthrough of a cold love story. Good to see, I think I died many, many times, didn't I? Well, you can't give me the options to annoy a Yandere and not expect me to take them. As always, if you want to check out the game, I'll leave the link in the description below. I highly recommend it. If you've enjoyed your time here, then please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. But other than that, you have a spooky day and I'll catch you next time, guys.